As the old saying goes, you can't have something that everybody likes without it offending some people. But maybe in this case, it's actually kind of understandable. Okay, so Barbenheimer is sweeping the world, right? Collectively, after 10 days in the box office, the two films combined have made over $1 billion, over $1.1 billion, and getting close to $1.2 billion in just 10 days. Barbie with like 775 million of that. Oppenheimer making way overperforming at like $400 million. And one of the big driving factors I think everybody agrees on behind the massive success of this crazy Barbenheimer weeker has been the whole thing that fans made up, Barbenheimer. And the memes and tweets and all that sort of thing that have gone along with it. Now, those are fun. Those are good things, but they have actually gotten Warner Brothers in a little bit of hot water, particularly with some people in Japan, and even specifically Warner Brothers' own office in Japan are kind of angry at Warner Brothers. Here's where all this comes from. So some of these Barbenheimer memes have been shared, and what happened was Warner Brothers commented on and retweeted a couple of them, clearly and obviously meant in fun. But let's take a look at a couple of them here. So, Jonathan, I think you've got one or two of these things here. So here's this one. Oppenheimer, somebody tweeted out, stays with you. You don't want to be thinking about Oppenheimer while watching Barbie. Or maybe you do. And then underneath, you can see that the official Barbie Twitter, which is owned by Warner Brothers, retweeted it and put the comment in, we're always thinking pink. Now we go to the next meme, and you know, this, which by the way, the artwork on this is incredible. This Barbenheimer thing is incredible. And the Barbie movie, Warner Brothers officially retweeted saying, it's going to be a summer to remember. Now, the problem here is that understandably, there are people in Japan who don't think taking nuclear bombs being dropped on their country as being something that should be the subject of making jokes, let alone memes. And Warner Brothers' own Japanese office actually put out a statement. This comes to us from Deadline that said this. The statement posted on Japan's own Barbie account, where it has been liked 75,000 times, reads, after translation, we consider it extremely regrettable that the official account of the American headquarters for the movie Barbie reacted to the social media postings of Barbenheimer fans. We take this situation very seriously. We are asking the U.S. headquarters to take appropriate action. We apologize to those who were offended by this series of inconsiderate reactions. Warner Brothers Japan. That comes to us from Warner Brothers Japan. Now, I want to point out, again, Warner Brothers didn't make these memes. They didn't post these tweets. They reacted to them in a way that fans are out there promoting their films and all that kind of stuff, and they reacted to them. Now, we get a number of reactions like this one, where Carafune, Twitter user Terafune, this is translated, I absolutely cannot condone the act of jokingly spreading tweets that make fun of the atomic bombing that killed so many people in Japan. I strongly demand that the related tweets be immediately retracted and deleted. And as a matter of fact, Warner Brothers themselves put out an image that said that, or put out a statement that said, Warner Brothers regrets its recent insensitive social media engagement. The studio offers a sincere apology. All right. There's going to be two trains of thought on this. And I get, this is one of those things where I do totally get where both sides of this issue will be coming from, okay? I'm not trying to play middle of the road. I'm just trying to be a guy with some fucking common sense. And if you have any common sense, you can completely see where both sides are coming from here. On the one hand, nobody ever made one of these memes with the intention of making fun of the bombing of Japan. Like, I don't think anybody who made one of these, this one in particular, if you can bring this up, like, this was meant to be, you know, a playful thing on the release of two movies. I don't believe for 1 second that the person who made this artwork, which is based on the poster of Oppenheimer and one of the posters of Barbie just mashed together, I do not believe for one moment that the person who made this thing, it's so funny that we bombed Japan, let's make fun of it. I don't believe for 1 second that was 1 ounce of the intention here. The intention here was to celebrate two great movies that are in films, mashing elements of two posters together, right? And I don't believe for a moment that Warner Brothers, and by the way, studios should be encouraging their online fans and social media when they are hyping up their movies. They should be encouraging that, right? So Warner Brothers puts out a statement saying it's going to be a summer to remember. And I really don't think, intentions-wise, there's anything wrong with that. Now, I think a lot of us many times will be tempted to say about anybody who's upset or offended by something that's meant in fun or something that's meant as a joke is, oh, come on, you just got to learn how to take a joke. Listen, I'm Italian Canadian living in the United States. None of those three countries have ever had nukes dropped on them. So unless you have, I don't think you get to have an opinion about whether or not certain people, by the way, it's not all Japanese people, but certain people in Japan may look at this and take a little bit of offense to it. It is truly one of the darkest events, regardless of what the intentions of the event were and what the outcomes of it were and all that kind of stuff. It is still one of the darkest events that's ever happened in the history of mankind, right? Even from an American's perspective, I think many Americans consider it one of the darkest things they ever had to do. And again, that all varies on perspective and point of view. So this is one of those times where if I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who lives in Japan and is born there and grew up there, and this is a part of your culture, and this is a part of your history, this is something that has happened to your country, maybe seeing stuff like this and feeling hurt by it and feeling a bit offended by it. But again, I completely believe at the same time, there was never any intention to make fun of the fact that Japan got bombed. As a matter of fact, in the movie Oppenheimer, this is not a spoiler, Christopher Nolan has said this publicly, there's a very big reason why Christopher Nolan never put the bombing of Japan in the movie. You never see it in the movie because Christopher Nolan felt very strongly about that. As a matter of fact, the explosive imagery in these pictures that are in the posters and in the movie are taking from tests done on American soil, right? So that was very important to Christopher Nolan. So again, I don't believe anybody meant anything offensive by this. I think it was all completely meant in fun, and I don't think there was any problem at all with Warner Brothers celebrating the fact that fans put this up and commenting on them. At the same time, I kind of get where some people in Japan might feel otherwise, because again, I'm not in their shoes, and I think it's very difficult to see things from their point of view. So I don't know, it's an interesting one. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster from hell. Sure, it looks like fun at first. They probably even threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills, like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You guys know before I came to Mint Mobile, I was paying triple what I am paying now on the standard big wireless plan, and I will never go back. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. The question is for you guys. How do you see this issue? Do you think it was inappropriate for fan art like this to be made, and maybe even more inappropriate for Warner Brothers to comment on it and react to it? Do you see where some people in Japan might feel offended by this stuff? Do you think that, hey, listen, this was clearly done in fun. It was clearly just meant to celebrate movies. Maybe people need to not be so sensitive about this stuff. I don't know. Whatever your point of view on this, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you do the standard like and subscribe thing. And also don't forget, we have a daily podcast known as the John Campea Show podcast. You can find it on your favorite podcasting app of choice, like Apple or Spotify. Go subscribe to it today.